everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Let me know where you're watching from, especially if you're new. I love to know that you are here. So even if you watch the replay, you can put hashtag replay and just let us know you are here. Getting this pulled up so I can read comments easier. Let's go. Okay. There we go. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Cheryl. How are you ladies tonight? Glad y'all popped in. I'm going to get right to it because I know a lot of people are going to church. We got lots to do, but I've got a 6-inch canvas here. We're going to do a really, really simple design and then add a few things. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Levada. Thank you for sprinkling. Definitely appreciate those sprinkles. Hey, Beth. Hi, Luana. Glad to see you guys. I'm going to start with my, I love using the white pearl. So I'm going to make that the background so that all of our purple can really show up pretty on top. Hey, Celeste. Hi, Debbie Dooley. Hi, Inga. Thank you for sprinkling. Goodness, we need it. I appreciate it. So I'm just going to pop some of this white gold right on top and just get to painting, getting that background down. Our canvas is already gessoed, so I don't really have to even put white paint or anything on top before I do this metallic white pearl. I can just put it straight down on top. And I'm going to get this over on the sides too, so that on the sides will shimmer. We're going to add some glass and little elements to it in just a minute. I should have gone ahead and mixed my resin. Always forget. Always say I'm going to do that quickly and then forget. Thank you, Vicki. Hi, Monica. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Mickey. Hope everybody's having a good night. Thanks, Inga. Appreciate it. How's Claudia? Glad you're here live. Happy Wednesday to you. Guys, let me know how you're doing. I think Ron had a pretty good day. For those that always ask, and I appreciate y'all asking, so I'm kind of getting to it before y'all even ask, but he did pretty good today. So I think, each day we get away from the IV chemo, he does a little better. You know what I mean? It takes a while, and then he does a little better. Well, I hear a truck outside, and I hear blue. Our street, we do get a lot of deliveries on our street. I think there's just so many people working from home today that every time I go live, it doesn't really matter. She barks at everybody that goes up and down the street. I wish y'all could see how pretty the white pearl is, but I know it never shows up on camera. I've looked before and it just doesn't really show. But it's very pretty and shimmery. It's very subtle, so it's not anything heavy or crazy. It's subtle, but it's just pretty. Let me get that back in the line of camera. I don't know. I gotta check. There we go. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Deb Dalton. Yes, it is good to hear. It always, I don't feel good until he feels good. You know what I mean? Like, really need him to feel good. Okay, guys. I'm looking for a little clip. I may do my camera different in a couple of days because I kind of feel weird when I never show my face, but I like for y'all to see well, so I always have it down as much as possible. But then every now and then I feel like I really need to show new people who I am. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate you. This is what inspired this whole project today. I was organizing all my paint palettes. I have so many of these little paint palettes that I paint on, and I was kind of getting them in nice, neat order and putting them where they really go. And this was in there with it. It's just something I painted kind of as a tester. And then I had extra resin one day, so I just resined over it. And that is what made me do this whole thing tonight. And you see I got out this from last year. I am starting to plan for the Alzheimer's event this June. And so, hi, Bricky. So you'll see you'll see purple sprinkled in my designs here and there going towards June. We like purple anyway, but I will be having some things that I'm going to auction for my fundraisers so that I can help raise money for my own self, you know, I like to always try to do more than I did last year. So we'll see. It's okay though, because we always have a great team that knocks it out of the ballpark for sure. Okay, got that good and dry. But I did put my link to the Alzheimer's page on my website. So I don't see it, but hopefully you guys do. Hopefully you've got that little link you can click on, and then it will show you if you want to join my team. Please, please do. And, you know, there's just so many things you can do besides giving. You can share posts. You can use one of my little frames that I make to get the word out. And just lots of things. So lots to do. And I will be emailing everybody soon. Okay, let's get this on. I tell you what, hold please. Thought maybe I could just trace around it, but it's not gonna. I guess I'll get out my trusty carbon and just go ahead and do it well, because I want this to be pretty. I do kind of eyeball it though, you know. I think we can do pretty good like this. I'm going to try to have a light touch so that I don't smear my carbon. So you guys talk amongst yourself while I'm tracing, because I know it's kind of boring to watch somebody trace a little design. You can let me know how you're doing, especially those of you who are on my prayer list. If you want to give an update here, you can, but if you'd rather message me, do that. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Terry. Good to see you, my friend. Okay. I'm trying to do a decent job. You know how if you don't hold it down well, it'll travel, and then it's not going to be how I want it. So when I make a tracer for something like this, I draw out 1/2, and that's why you see it taped together. Because I draw out 1/2 and then go over it with the Sharpie and then put another piece of paper over that and trace it, and then go over that with a Sharpie and then tape the two together. And that way it's the same on each side, because it's impossible for me to draw the exact same thing on two sides. I can't even get these two sides shaped right. So that's how I do it. And VIP ladies, I don't know if y'all have been in the group, but I did already put this tracer and the colors I'm using and everything already in there for you, because I know when I'm done with this, we've got to do a quick dinner. So last time I was live, I guess it was Monday, I said it was going to be really quick, and it wasn't. And so by the time I got done, my daughter had cooked the entire dinner. So I can't take all night here. But we had fun. We had a good night that night. It was the little paintbrush with the little bird. It turned out super cute. And I've got it all boxed up with a little goodies that I'm sending out as happy mail. Okay, there we go. Now we're in business. Now I'm going to set this aside while I mix my resin, because as I said, I like to let it sit there for a minute. Hi, Donna. You guys, I'm so sorry if I've missed saying hi to you. I'll go back tonight and be sure that I do, because I really do appreciate you guys coming. Hi, Sydney. Hi, Claudia. Lori, thank you for the stars. Hi, Gloria. Hello, Cheryl Craig. Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much. And Kim, hello. I can't keep up because it keeps going off. You know, if I move and do something else, then it's going. So I use art resin. It's my favorite resin. It's all I use. I've done a lot of research, and it is, in my opinion, the safest. So I won't use anything else until I see, you know, better research from their companies that proves it's safe. But you guys use whatever you feel comfortable with in your home. And I always mark my little cups because it's so hard to see these little lines. So that way, I'm just looking for the black line instead of trying to really look and see, you know. So I'll pour one. And then we will end up pouring these together. But I do like to really try to do exactly the same. So if I do, you know, half an ounce for one, I'm going to do half an ounce for the other. And this is going on a 6-inch canvas. So I'm using 20 cc's. That's what I like to use for me. You might want to use a little more. Some people do. It's totally up to you. You just kind of, I went by the art resin calculator for a long time. And once I did it enough times, I realized I really don't like having a lot of extra resin. So this is kind of just how much I use. So I try to let everybody know, you know, you'll have to try it and see what you like. Let me see if we have a clocker. Somebody doing the time. Okay, 5:14. If somebody can do the time, let me know. I'll be watching. Just 3 minutes on the clock. Once I get these two into the larger cup would be excellent. And then we'll finish painting our canvas while this sits there. Oh, awesome, Linda. That's great. Yes, Kim, white pearl. And I did already put your color card in the VIP group for you. So all the stuff is there. Even where I got my stuff, my little elements I'm using tonight. I try to really overgive inside that VIP group, you guys, because I know that we cannot all join groups. And there's, you know, we all have our favorite people, our favorite things that we like to do. So no problem. But I do try to overgive in there, so everything's already in there. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody clocking me, so let me 5:16. I'll just kind of watch my watch. Oh, you can, Inga? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we'll stir pretty slow. I'm actually stirring a little heavy, so let's just do kind of a slow, nice, slow stir. Thank you, Debbie. What butterfly? Can you see it, or the one I drew? We're doing slow and easy, because if I get too fast like this and really start whipping it, you know, we're going to have so many bubbles, and they get micro bubbles that you can't get out. So if you just go slow, you're still going to have bubbles, but they're the type that you can get out with your heat torch, butane torch, or whatever you use. I used to use a heat gun, and that works, except for it kind of blows it around, you know. I just really prefer the torch. It's easy to use, it's small, but whatever you guys want to use. Okay, Marcia, no problem. Oh, thanks, Brooke. I think Inga got it, so whoever. Yeah, Inga said she's got it. Thank you, though. I appreciate you, friend. I always know, I don't even think about it. I just always know one of y'all will have my back. And usually several, right? Thank you for that. So let me know what's going on in your world. I'm watching the comments. Hi, Vicki. Oh, thanks, Monica. Thank you, thank you. It's already getting clear. You can just really start to, after you've done this a long time, you know, or a while, you'll start to really know what you're looking for. But my best advice is getting those cups really level and then pouring the exact amount of one and the other. And I don't mean, you know, yes. Oh, how funny. That's cute. And I could do that on my iPad, but I have it all I don't know. I have the voice turned down. I didn't know if it would even clock me while I'm live. Not very techie, you guys. Had to learn to be techie somewhat, but I'm not as good as I need to be for sure. You're tearing out your front yard, Brooke? Oh, wow. Are you planting a lot? Is that why? So you'll see me every so often kind of scrape it off, and I'm really scraping around the cup and scraping the sides. And thank you, Vicki. I appreciate you. And I thank you guys for sprinkling. I know so many of you do, and I'm so grateful. That does help a lot. And emojis. I don't know. I asked Tammy for clarification because Tammy Pringle had put something about, like, giving the thumbs up doesn't help. It needs to be the hearts. So that's new to me. I didn't know that. So I'm learning all the things along with y'all. Oh, good, Mercedes. Glad you're here. Oh, Shannon, that is the sweetest thing. Thank you, Inga. I knew you were going to say that because I can see it's really clear. So I'm going to set this aside where I don't knock it up like that, where I don't knock it over. And I'm going to put some paint on here. And then we'll do that resin last, you know, of course, after we get the paint on and everything. You know me, I'm not going to waste gloves, and they're hard to, I put lotion on before I went live, so they're kind of hard to get off. But I'm going to take this one off so I can paint with my hands, you know, feeling it. Hi, Susie from Denmark. Glad you're here. Is it okay if I call you that? Suzanne, sorry. I just did that without even thinking. Hi, Joanne. Quite the day. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even notice you said it's been quite the day. Well, guys, when you see somebody say that, I know we have lots of people that watch that are prayers. So you just say a quick prayer right then for a friend you don't even know, but God honors that. So, okay. Get that kind of even. So we're only using, I think, 2 colors. I only pulled 2 colors. I've got my Glorious Gold and my Purple Pizzazz. Yes, welcome, welcome. And we're going to just do a simple painting so that the glass is the star of the show. So I've got a simple painting and just a couple of brushes. So I think I'm going to do my purple first, and then we'll do the gold accents. Now listen, I'm going to paint this to where this is all, you don't have to do anything else. You could just paint it, and you don't have to go on and do the glass. It'll still be really pretty, just painted, and hopefully give you an idea. But if you want to go on and do glass, then you'll have that idea. I'm just painting in these little sections of the butterfly with our Purple Pizzazz. It'll take 2 coats, so I'm going kind of fast, not being too perfect. Everything that I teach is on the whimsical side. You know, it's whimsical art and just fun, lighthearted, so I don't stress at all. You know, my tracers aren't usually perfect. My designs aren't usually perfect. But that's why I love it, because I relax with art. I can do this kind of stuff all day. It's so relaxing, and that's what I'm about. I'm about trying to help women take time for themselves, and the best way I know how to do that is to give you lots of ideas, lots of designs, and hopefully inspires you to take some time for yourself to create. And it's such a good thing. You know, it just really calms me down. And sometimes I always try to inform everybody, you're using a different side of your brain. And so it's really hard to sit and stress and worry when you're painting or creating. So usually you get lost in what you're doing and you're enjoying it, and it's bringing you joy, and you can kind of let go of all that stress for a little bit. So that's why it's so important to make the time. Whenever I hear people say, oh, I just don't have time, I'm like, oh, I know, we don't. Nobody does. But make just a little time. Just, carve it out somewhere. Even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, to do something creative. You'll really get a lot out of it, I think. I know I do. So as you see, it couldn't be any simpler. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with our gold highlights. Isn't it, Deb? Thank you, Mary Jo. Mary Jo, boy, some of you guys just impressed me so much with what you do. And listen, even if you're not in the VIP group, I wish you would post what you create, especially when I inspire you. Like, so many people will message me or email me, and I don't mean so many like, oh, it's every day. I just mean every now and then you guys will send me something that I showed on my page, and you're like, hey, I took a chance and I tried it. And I'm like, oh, I love it. Go ahead and post those in my free group, the Art and Craft Showcase, because you're inspiring people when you share your art. There may be somebody out there going, I think I could do that. Or I'm going to give that a try. That's really pretty. And you guys do things that I don't think of and change it up. And I just love seeing what y'all do with it. You can definitely paint this large or small. So if you want to do a really large one, and give it to somebody you love, or if you want to do it on a card or an ATC, you could do that. I'm using a round brush. Makes it very easy. If I could just kind of pay attention to what I'm doing. Do we have another friend? Thank you, Claudia. Hi, Della. I don't see your comment, but I saw Claudia's. Glad you're here. Everybody is so welcome here, The people who are on my lives are all such amazing, sweet ladies. Every time Facebook's like, oh, you're a top creator, I'm like, this is not me. I'm doing very simple things. This is you guys. Y'all make the community so great that, people want to be here, I guess, sometimes. And it's just so cool. I love what we have going. You're just filling in the, block and color in. I'm not going to do anything hard today. We're just kind of getting some color down. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. I know, Brooke. Why do they do that? I think they do it on purpose. I do. I think so many things that they do, they have a reason, right? They're not changing just for the heck of it. They're going to test it out. And I think they're testing to see, do they hold their attention, or are they easily distracted by something else? There's got to be a reason. I don't know. I've tried to figure out what they're doing. I don't know. But it frustrates me when it happens, and I always go back. I'm like, makes me angry. Again, these little, even the part you fill in does not have to be perfect. But if you choose the right brush, it really does help. As you see, we've done this pretty quickly. And I do put if I have favorite supplies like these brushes, I do put them in my Amazon list. So I'm an affiliate and get, a small commission if you purchase using my list, or my, link or whatever. But I really just want to help y'all have an easy time. And I try so many products, to see what works better for me, that why would I not share if I find something I like, right? So the 3% is not much, but you know, it all helps, and I appreciate if y'all do use it. Do y'all like this purple? I've grown to really love purple. And so I never owned anything purple, really, before my mom had Alzheimer's. And then I started acquiring like t-shirts. I did a couple of walks, you know, the Alzheimer's walk, and got a couple of t-shirts, and then, you know, like a cup, and then a pen. And then before you know it, I'm like, I love purple. I've always been a pink or a turquoise person. But purple looks great with it, with either of those colors, and it's just worked right into my palette. I am painting and making things now on the weekends so that I can have lots of things for an auction for the Alzheimer's Association. So what we do, if you've never been a part of it, is we have, you know, usually one big day where lots of creatives will go live, and at the end of their live, they're auctioning their item. And if you win it, you just go directly to that person's link to the Alzheimer's Association so that that person gets credit, and you donate. So if you won it for $50, you go to the Alzheimer's Association using that person's link and donate your $50. You send that screenshot to the creator and then, or to me, and then they ship your item. So we never, ever handle any of the money. We let it go straight to them, and then we have always donated the shipping. So it's really a great thing that lots of creatives have wanted to be a part of in the past. And if you are a creative and you're like, ooh, I would like to do that, then just go to my website, fill out the little form. I do have the link on here, and I'll be sending out an email. But I have lots of ways to help. So not just if you want to do that, but if you want a frame that goes around your picture, if you want to just make posts for us, you know, I'll have some posts that you can share. I might even have other ways. I'm thinking and working on some ideas to get more people involved, because last year you guys shocked me. You know, y'all, so many of y'all wanted to be involved, and it was a huge blessing to the Alzheimer's Association. And so I'd love to do that again. Okay. I think we're good on that. You do? Oh, I'm so sorry, Claudia. It's just the worst to see our loved ones go through that. Oh, I know. I wanted to add some white. So I am going to pull black and white. I don't even know that I need black. I might just do some white. I'm going to put a lavender. So I'm going to take that purple with some white and mix up a lighter for the body. Okay. Yes, yes. Oh, Lisa. So awful. It really, really is. Do you guys live close to her? It just breaks my heart. And, you know, every time there's like super cold weather or super hot weather, I always worry because now that I know more about it and, you know, went through so much with my own mom, I realize how many people are out there kind of, you think they're okay, but they're not, because people can hide it for quite a while. You know, when I say hide it, I mean, you don't think they're as bad as they really are. But if you suspect it in your family member, you really kind of have to do some checking and digging, because they may have their medication pill organizer. You know, they may have 2 pills on the same day when they're only supposed to have 1. Things like that. So you kind of have to do some investigative work to see kind of where they're at. And you also sometimes have to be the bad guy and make hard decisions that they don't love, but that you know are to keep them safe. So it's really rough. But I do have a group called Creatives for Alzheimer's, and I think it's Guide 2. It's either Guide 1 or 2. I think it's Guide 2. It's Guide 2. I have lots of resources. So things you can read, things you can research. And it's mostly from the Alzheimer's Association. There's so much good resources out there. It just takes a little time to find it, read it, you know. But if you'll just pop in there and read things when you have 5 minutes, you'll learn a lot. Or go to their website and see what, you know, whatever subject you need help with. There's always help. You can always message me if I can help you. And I always say, please look out for your neighbors. Neighbors that live close by, that, you know, you can help them take their trash out, or you can pick up something when you're going to the store. Because even the daily simple task like taking out the trash could be a tripping, falling hazard for them. Or going to the store could be confusing. And I know money becomes super confusing. Okay. Purple roses. Ooh, that sounds beautiful. Yes. I do my little simple Deb flowers, but I'm not a really good rose painter when it comes to like realistic roses. But I love my little whimsical ones. But if any of you guys do like Donna Dewberry roses, those are so pretty. I really didn't do that center part too good, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Okay, let me dry this so that I can put on some gold. You guys still with me? I know. And you know, Claudia, isn't it hard because they kind of resent sometimes the person that has to do that? And what my mom did was she thought that toward the end, she thought that I was like a caregiver and my daughter was me. So when we would go together, she would just hug her and be so happy to see her. And she was happy to see me too. But she would roll her eyes at me, you know, about me to my daughter. It was really kind of funny. But she just was confused on who we were exactly or what our roles were. She just knew she loved my daughter and she thought that was me. It was so funny. But you have to kind of laugh when you can and take them how they are and just enjoy all that you can while you have them, because man, I miss mine. I am gonna go find a I want a real dry, kind of fluffy brush. I'll grab this one. This is just a small round brush, but see how when I say fluffy, I mean it's not like a brand new one, so it's got a little fluff on the end. And I'm going to take my Glorious Gold, and we're just going to kind of dry brush, so it's not wet. I'm just taking that brush, and we're going to dry brush this gold kind of all around. Now, I was going to do foil, you know, gold foil, but I actually thought we'll just dry brush this because not everybody has gold foil, but lots of y'all have gold paint or something like that. So, and I'm just going to kind of brush it, but I'm going to let it kind of brush over the purple I did in some areas. So you don't have to do this like really super neat. So see, as I'm painting, I'm kind of letting it go into the purple. Kind of gives it a little bit of an artistic look. I think it would be a lot prettier, or you would be able to see a lot better if I was using a really large canvas. But I wanted to do the resin, so I needed smaller for this one. Just let it kind of trickle into that purple. Yes, lots of pictures. Yeah, wait, the nurse ratchet. See, that's what I mean. You kind of have to laugh. Somebody has to do it. That's the thing. And it's typically not brothers or, it's usually a woman that's got to be the nurse, the caregiver-ish person. And what they see is kind of the bad guy. But we know, just like our moms had to do that for us when we were little, no, we cannot play with that snake. No, we cannot touch the hot pan, whatever it is. We're doing the same thing for them now. And their brains are kind of reverted back to how when you're a child. So it just is what it is. And if we can accept it and deal with it, you do a lot better when you can just kind of realize that they don't even understand. They don't realize what they're saying or doing. I got to look at my little tracer to see if those touch. Yeah. You could paint the gold first, but I knew this is just, I wanted it to look kind of artistic-ish because some people are just going to paint. They won't do the glass. And I just thought this was going to be pretty, having the gold kind of trailing into the purple. I feel bad I can't see your comments, but I will read them. So go ahead and tell us your stories, share with people. Let me tell y'all another thing that, that as you share what you went through, you're going to bless somebody in a way, because people who are coming after you and reading that comment, might be like, oh, that's a good idea, or, oh, I thought that was just me, so share your stories with people when you have the opportunity. And it doesn't just have to be about Alzheimer's. It could be anything that you're going through. If you're comfortable sharing, you'll be helping somebody else. Okay, no problem. Yeah, exactly, Teresa. And isn't time such a healer? You kind of realize, like, when you're going through it, oh, I swear it's the most stressful thing on the planet. It's so stressful dealing with Alzheimer's. But when they're gone and you just look back and think, oh, I could have done better. I wish I'd had more patience, or, they couldn't help it. You just think about all the things. So I try so hard to help people and give y'all resources that need it and raise awareness and funds, and really just kind of be an advocate for anybody that needs it, because it is so hard when you're in it. Gotta ask for help. I'll tell you that. People do not, if they've never been through it with somebody, they don't even have a clue what you're going through. They don't know. My daughter was my hero, man. Through that ordeal, she helped me so much, because she wasn't with us all the time. She was in college at that time, and she, would come home and see how stressed I was about things. And she really is a wise young lady. So you gotta, have people that can help you get through it, not feel guilty, not feel alone, whatever the case. Yes, don't we all, Teresa? I mean, that's my biggest regret. Once I finally got it, then I did really well, What I did, and I know if y'all followed me for years, you've heard this story, so forgive me for telling it again, but there's going to be somebody that hadn't heard it. But I did used to just be so stressed about all that related to it. And one day I prayed, and I just said, God, please help me to see her the way you see her. Because like right now, I'm so stressed, and she makes me so frustrated. And I'm not lying. I really can't remember a time where it was such a answered prayer, like so clearly answered right there. But it was almost like from that day forward, I saw her in a completely different light. I saw her, and that's why I tell y'all, it's almost like how a child is, it was like that from that day forward, I was the mother, she was the child. I understood she was the child. It just kind of all clicked. And I was able to be so patient from that day forward. But before that, I wasn't. And so that's why I try to be here and help you guys. And Tippa Snow is one of the best people I've ever watched. She has lots of videos on YouTube. And she helped a lot with understanding Alzheimer's behavior. And there's just parts of the brain that are gone. They're not coming back. They're eroded. And so once you understand the disease better, it's so much easier to get through it with them. Yes, 100%. Caregivers are so special, and so many of them, different places are not doing it for the right reason. It's just a job. But man, we've got to pray, because we need people who are patient and loving and understanding to do that job. I'll hold this up in just a second so that you can see what I was trying to do with this gold coming into the purple. I'm afraid you might need to show you up close. You might can see it better when I'm doing it into like the larger space. It gives it kind of an artistic look. So if you're not going to go on and do the glass, I kind of like that. Y'all still here? It feels so quiet. It's just because my house is quiet right this second. As soon as I said that, Blue barked. Oh, yeah? Okay, I'm going to just kind of go back over, be sure I have plenty of gold coming into my purple. So I'm just using a angled brush or a round brush. This is, oh please, let me clean that off so I can get a good look at it. It is a round brush. I do like to use an angled brush for this little part, but this was working fine, so I'm going to keep bringing it. But just kind of brush it up into the purple a little bit. And this is more for people that aren't going to do the glass portion. If you're going to do the glass portion, you don't need to do this. Share again, what paintbrushes do you purchase? I think you said what paintbrushes? I have an Amazon storefront, and it has like different lists. And so the list that says art supplies is the one you would look for. So if you hit that link at the bottom that says, you know, my website, artgracepaint.com, you will see a page that says my favorite supplies. And just click on that, and then click on the one that says art supplies, and you'll see. But these are just brushes from Amazon that work so well for the price. And anytime that I find ones I like better, then I'll change my list and put the new ones on and take the old ones off. But for the price, these work excellent. If you want to spend some money, I love squirrel hair, but I try not to use those. When I'm live, I try to do everything within a budget so that everybody can do it. I don't want money to hold anybody back from being creative. And so then I kind of started making it my mission to find supplies that work well but aren't expensive. And so you don't have to go to a specialty store. You can just order from Amazon or Hobby Lobby or wherever. Okay, I think I'm good with that. How does that look from you guys? Angle. Okay, I'm going to say that it looks good. Yes, you're so welcome. Kids nowadays. Oh, I know, Della. It really is a problem, isn't it? It really, really is. And you can't blame the kids. It's not the kids' fault. It's who raised them. It really is so sad. Okay, I'm not putting antennas because I like to put my own antennas with wire. See that? So that's why I'm not painting them on. This is really all I have to do as far as paint. So I'm setting my paint aside. I do have the black wire. I do have silver. I wish that I had gold wire. I may, but I don't have it handy. What do y'all like better on the butterfly? The black or the gold? So please let me know. Look how many people we lost. What happened? Was it me talking about Alzheimer's? So there's black. Try to blur your eyes so you can see how that would look. Yes, exactly, Claudia. That's it right there. It is unfortunately not their fault. I mean, I still blame them. You know, I still think you should know better, but they obviously were not raised, you know, well, not all of them, but I always see people blaming certain generations, and I'm like, excuse me. Y'all let me know, silver or black. I agree. I think it needs that pop. So I see somebody say black. Oh, is that right, Lavita? Oh, Patty, I'm so glad you're here live, girl. Good for you. Patty's the perfect example of how hard it is to caregive and, then find time for herself. It really is a challenge, but I just really think it's so vital. So I'm just kind of getting them nicer. I always pinch the end, so that's kind of my part that's going to go under a piece of glass or something, and then pinch the end. I kind of figure about how long I want them, and I'm going to cut them with a little length so that I can wrap them around something and give them some curly. And let me see if this is the skinniest thing. Whatever you have, if you have one of these tools, or it doesn't really matter, just you want a kind of a skinny little. Let me see. Yeah, that's probably too long. Just wrap it around a few times because I think that's cute. Ah, are you serious? They flipped right off. Okay. Come on. How do I get that back through there without ruining my brush? That's why I shouldn't use my brush as tools. They're a little different, which is kind of cute and wonky, or you can, get it back how you had it and then kind of make them perfect. Not perfect, but you know what I mean. Get them about the same length. But cute and wonky is fine in my book. Okay, so we've got that. Everything's dry. I am going to sign this because this will definitely get sold for my fundraiser. So I'm going to do a little purple here. So I'm going to dry that so we can do our resin. So just a few colors of paint. It was so easy. And then you've got a pretty painting if that's all you want to do. And you could paint on your antennas if you wanted. Feelers out of copper wire. Yes, copper would be good. Yes. Good idea, Danny. Okay, let's get back on our glove. Anytime I do resin, I always wear gloves. You don't want that sticky stuff. It's just really, really sticky. And I do always have alcohol. If you have these around, that will be very helpful. So here's the resin that we mixed a little earlier, the start of the live, sort of. And I'm going to pour quite a bit of it down. But I'll reserve a little. And I'm going to kind of spread that to the edges. So the resin the way that I use resin is you can take the bottom of your canvas or your substrate and have the resin just kind of pour over the sides, and you can take your finger and, run it along the sides, and that's wonderful if you want to do that. I don't. I always dome it, so I bring it to the edges and stop. But, so it's just personal preference. There's no right or wrong way. In fact, I really feel that way about all art. You do what you like. You'll see different people do different things, and you can either do what they do or you can do what you prefer. But at least take the ideas, and be inspired. And then what I do before I sell things is I use DuraClear on the edges, on the sides, because it gives them a really pretty shiny sealer without, having that mess of the resin, and it's more expensive to resin the whole entire thing. So if I can save that and it still looks just as good, then I like to. Beautiful on a budget, right? Resin's expensive, and I have to find ways that I can justify using art resin brand, because it is one of the most expensive ones, but I so believe in the safety of it that's not an area that I will skimp. So, okay, once I get it to the sides, then we're ready to put down the glass. I'm gonna pop some bubbles though, because if you'll pop them now, then you save them having to pop, they'll rise, So I'm going to go ahead and use my small butane torch and just give it a good pass, not too close to it because you don't want to burn the resin. And then I always take a toothpick and kind of, that is paint right there. That's paint. So that's not coming off. That's paint. But if I see something like a little tiny, piece of something, I'll use my toothpick to kind of pick it up. Okay, so while that's good, I'm going to start adding my pieces. So I've got some, now it's pretty just like this too. I forgot I told y'all to hold that up. Let me hold this up. I need to stand up where I can see what y'all see. Hold, please. So see how the gold kind of comes into the purple, like around there. I like that look. There's that. Before I forget, because I have forgotten before, I'm going to put down my little antennas. And like I said, I just kind of give it a little pinch down at the base to kind of, that's where it's going to sit. And then we'll have some things on top of it that'll end up holding it down. So, let's go ahead and do this center portion. So I have all kind of glass here. I'm going to just kind of looking to see what I want to use. I think I'm going to use this. This one just came from Michael's. I might put some of that other with it, but just kind of drop it down. Drop it like it's hot. I can't believe I just said that. That's like a Snoop Dogg thing. Oh, Deb. I don't always turn pieces over, but if I see, a lot of the back side of these, I will turn them over. The ones from Michael's are great for the price, but they're, like I do kind of tend to turn them over and things. This is not the same as the crushed glass I use on most of my things, but this is excellent to use on small areas like this. And I like to use everything. I use so many different things. Like I use actual gemstones. I like to really think outside the box and find all kind of things to use with my art. Grab a pair of tweezers. I have a dedicated pair over here that you can just also kind of help you as you need to turn something over. Just give you an extra, or you could use 2 toothpicks or whatever. And look how pretty that looks. Y'all with me? Thanks, Claudia. I'm going to grab these. Come on, come on. And we'll put some things on top of it. Y'all, I feel like such a nerd sometimes. Did y'all see the post I made earlier? Like, I literally go to the trouble to make these dumb posts about my dog. But they crack me up. I hope they make y'all smile. But I'm like, here's her day. Here's what she does at noon. Here's what she does at 3. And at 5, she'll be here doing art. Like, I don't know. Sometimes. Okay. Y'all like that look? I really do like these little chips for things like this. They're perfect size. They're small and they're pretty. They're very inexpensive. So use all kind of things if you're going to do this type of. And then these I'm going to plop down. Just kind of see what fits where. Turn him around. Just kind of have to, you can just dump out your glass and see what you have if you're going to do the glass portion. Maybe something like that. Oh, goodness. It's actually not the side I want this side. Actually, I don't think I want it. I don't think I'm going to put some beads. Pulled my beads out so I could use some of those. So let's skip around and do some other areas. Oh, thank y'all for the hearts. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Dog sitting, your grand dog. Oh my goodness. House. Oh yes, aren't they? They're so much work when they're babies. It's literally like having a child, isn't it? We were like, what were we thinking? Actually, it was Ron who got Blue for me as a gift. It was like our anniversary gift. And oh my goodness, I just was like, obviously you did zero research about this breed, right? I mean, we would never trade her. She's the best dog we've ever had for sure. But man, are they work. But it's a good, I'm glad y'all can do that for them because they are like babies. We can't just leave them with anybody. Y'all let me know, is it kind of boring to watch this or do you like watching people put the glass down? I always wonder because I love this part. I don't know that everybody does, but I love it. It's literally, to me, kind of like doing a little puzzle where you just pick up your pieces, see what you want where. It's so fun to me. And this is where the relaxation comes in. Do you like it? Cynthia, how's Jerry today? Bless you. Lots of prayers for you guys. Glad you could pop in. You sure do need this relaxation moment, you know. Sometimes all you can get is like 10 minutes here and there. But I'll tell you, that's better than nothing. For sure. I keep doing that where I turn it the wrong way. I want the little cracked areas showing. So, flip it. Now let's add some beads. I have just been putting all my beads in one container, you know, if they're purple family. And so I'm going to drop some here. It'll give it some shimmer when you turn the art. I will take a picture of this out in the sun tomorrow. So watch for a little video. I usually do these as videos so that you can see it as it kind of moves. But they're so pretty. And so adding little things that sparkle here and there are a great addition. And ladies, if you're in the VIP group, on the little color chart that I give y'all, I have where I got the beads and the glass and all that. So I don't know if anybody wants to know, but that's where it is. Okay, so let's take our and see what we want. I'm just going to kind of start putting down some things and see how it looks. If I can get it to stand up, I like that. See if she'll stand up. Year-old. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man, we are going to need to do that for Blue. We want to keep her as long as we can. I told Ron we're going to have to get a puppy so that she, you know, doesn't just curl up and, you know what I mean. I just can't even stand the thought of it. So this is the fun part to me. I don't know. I hope y'all enjoy even just watching and hanging out, but it really is so relaxing too. So if you don't want to use resin, but you like the look of all of this, you know, what can you use? You can use triple thick. You can use a permanent clear glue and try some things like that. You will never get what you can get with resin, but, you know, there's just some people that aren't going to ever want to use resin. It is, you know, a little bit of a hassle and messy, but it's not scary. It may seem scary right now if you've never used it. Let me know, because sometimes people do say, oh, I'm just too scared to use it. Let me know, because I've been there. I always thought, you know, that's too much. I don't know if I want to go all into that. But once I did, there is no turning back. Love it. I started watching Cindy Manley years ago. She owns Art Shattered, and she is so talented. And that's what got me interested. Let me see what y'all are saying. Exactly. Oh, that's a good idea, Della. Yeah. Oh, good, Claudia. I'm so glad you feel that way. I always feel bad if I see my numbers going down. I'm like, oh gosh, they're bored. But I always hope y'all just kind of have fun hanging out and chit-chatting. What's everybody having for dinner? Or what did you have for dinner? Depending on where you live, you might have already eaten. Oh, isn't that pretty? I love the beads. Love the beads. Okay, we're going to move over. I'll try to go faster. Now, when I kind of move to another area, I do not try to match. I think it's more interesting, you know, to just have everything different. And then your eye gets to kind of walk around and look at everything. Not walk around, but you know what I'm saying. Goes around the whole piece. If you're OCD like my daughter, then you can totally make it match. Don't you fall over. You've got about 30 to 40 minutes when you mix up your resin before it starts getting really thick. This still is perfectly fine. It's not, it also depends on the room temperature. It likes to be warm, so my resin's fine. It's not getting too thick at all yet. So we have time, you know, you can play around with it. Take your time kind of loading everything where you want it. And I like to mix my resin and then kind of put my stuff so that it has time to thicken up a little. It's not just super runny. Thanks, Terry. Oh, good, Sue. You know, and that's the thing. That is why I love just, you know, go around and watch people and get ideas. And you may never do what they did, but you will get an idea for something you could do with your kids, your grandkids. I don't like that one. That's a little too playful. Or, you know, maybe do it with paper and sequins, or, you know, you'll get ideas as you watch. And you know how it is. It's just cool to get inspired. So you see now why I was saying I'm only doing the gold coming into the purple to show you for a painting, because it's not going to make a difference in your art if you're putting beads and things on it. But I do always like to give a good painting if I'm going to go on and do glass art, so that, you know, people who don't do the glass art are still getting something out of it. Something good, you know, not just a easy nothing. Okay, as y'all are watching from your bird's eye view, let me know if you're seeing something like, oh, Deb, you forgot this. Y'all are really good at helping me, so if you see something I messed up on, tell me. Don't be afraid to tell me. Thank you, Cheryl. Oh, Marcia, thanks for sprinkling. Thanks, Linda. Oh, good. Okay, no problem. I'm glad when y'all, sometimes y'all say, oh, I'm sorry I'm late. No, just come on in. It's like come and go. My door is always open. Y'all come and go as you can. You guys need to mention that people are having a sweet auction for us Friday and Saturday. Chris Hunter and Dina Ray I believe, are the two that have organized it. I don't know hardly any information on it, so I don't know. Y'all may know as much as I do, but I just know it's 2 full days, and we're so grateful. Ron has stage 3B colon cancer, and so, the bills are piling up. We have that marketplace insurance that's no good, but that's all we could get. So I really, really, truly, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate this so much. And we'll make it my mission to always do this type thing for other people, because, it's so true how just a little bit from many people takes care of it. That's how it is with the Alzheimer's thing. You just give what you can, and so I'm just super grateful. It's really awful to have to need it, but I'm so grateful for this community so much. And our church has done all they can. They're so great to everybody to want to help, and it just takes a lot of the stress out of it, because it's already stressful just dealing with it. It's really affected me, and obviously I'm just the wife. I mean, I can't even imagine how bad he feels all the time, but it's affected my, stress, my anxiety, my energy, so we appreciate you guys so much, way more than we could ever express. But hope you'll join. You do not have to bid. Here's the thing, is just come and share it out and give hearts and comment or whatever, and that will all help get the people who will bid or who need some art or who want to help, that will get them there. Okay, let's see. It really is so kind. Oh my gosh. And I know there's so many who need it. That's why I'm committed to I always want to help if I can in any way. But, creating is my thing. I can do this. And so always more than happy to help. Y'all let me know. Hopefully you gave me a comment if y'all saw something. I'm going to look at them right now. Let's see if I've missed anything. Oh, Inga, bless you. Yes, Monica, right. Oh, Linda. No, listen, Della, I totally understand. Oh, I know. Well, y'all, thank you, Lisa. Y'all just know that by showing up or by sharing it or sharing the post, that is a huge help. I'm not seeing anything. Do y'all see anything now as you're watching that needs to be fixed? I'm going to kind of come through here and see if I want to add. I have these little things that I love to use because they're just pretty. Let me show you. Just these little glass balls that sometimes I will sprinkle on. I'm going to put a few on here. And as they hit the resin, they'll kind of stop where they're at. But these are the kind of little details that when you see it in person, people always say, oh, it's so much prettier in person. It's why, because it's hard for me to show that on the video. It just really doesn't show up well, but you'll see it if you get it in person. And then take your little toothpick and put them where you want them if they fall. It's really simple. Just move it back. And I babysit these is what I say. So for, I'll cover this with a plastic bin. Always needs to be a clean plastic bin so you're not dumping dust on it. But I'll cover it, and then in about 15 minutes, I'll take a look at it and see if any of these little beads have maybe moved over here or something. But since we waited and we let our resin get a little harder before we started working, that helps a lot. So everything's pretty much going to stay. But I still do kind of watch it and see if anything needs to be moved. I think I'm going to separate these a little so you can see the purple in between. That is one big piece. I'm going to look at your comments, see if y'all see anything I've missed. Thank you. You'd be surprised how much just sharing posts, will help, because you just need the right, people that are able to do it and want to do it and, need some art, it's just kind of a combination kind of thing. And I've already been praying that all the people involved will be blessed. I pray that God will bless them for doing it, just for having that heart. If nothing else, if not a penny is raised, it'll be fun, watching. Okay. Oops. Let's see how that looks. I like it. You can take clear glass if you want to, and then, kind of put that in between. I might take a look. Grab some. But honestly, I don't think it needs it. I'll kind of put some down. This is my chunky clear glass. I'm just going to put a little bit, and y'all let me know if you like it or it doesn't need it. So that's all I'm going to put down until I see what y'all say. So let me know, no, it needs the glass, or no, I like it as is. A bumblebee, yes, Sue, for sure. Thanks, Della. Thank you, Joan. Oh, thanks, Joan. There's Christy. Piece of glass on the butterfly that's sparkling from your... Oh, how funny. You like it as is? You like the clear glass? You like the added glass? Hi, Zena. So y'all go ahead and vote. You like the glass or not? I will be picking out some small pieces in case y'all are saying yes. You love it? You like the glass? I'll add it. I mean, I'm always kind of like, typically, more is better, right? The only problem is, see, now I'm getting into this where there's areas where it's just really small, like that. So I'm going to have to kind of pick out my small pieces here. But sometimes it's like, more is more. Just going to put it where we can. Now, somebody hurry and tell me if you're like, no, I hate it. Okay, good. Additional pulp. I love additional pulp. I'm all about that. Because sometimes, when you do add something, you're like, nah. But sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, it needed that. You don't even realize it needed it until you put it. So I always like to kind of play around with it and get you guys to give your opinions. More eyes are always better. This is not reflective light. It's just clear glass, but it does add sparkle, especially when it's cured, and I'll show y'all tomorrow. I always cannot wait. I'm always like really disappointed if it's bad weather or something and I can't get a picture of it. Now in here, I need to put some chunky glass where I can. Let's move you out of the way. That went flying. Y'all with me? Oh goodness, look at the numbers. I've driven you all away. We still have some of us here, but everybody else gave up. Oh, that is pretty. Look at that. I don't know if y'all can tell, but that does add a lot. I like the clear. It's always personal preference. If you don't like it, you don't add it. If you like it, you add it. But I love asking you guys when you're here, you know, what you think. I don't like it standing up. I have been taking any videos I do here and moving them to YouTube, but then I edit them and I take out all the blank spaces. So if I'm just sitting here working and not talking, or if I'm talking, I try to edit out all that chit chat that I do. I don't know about y'all. I tell you all the time, it drives me crazy to hear it. So I edit that out so that when you go over there, you can just get the tutorial. You can just watch it or paint with it or whatever and get to business. So it'll really make like an hour-and-a-half long tutorial. It'll take it down to 45 minutes when I remove all the extra. So be sure that you have subscribed over there. Subscribing and leaving a comment is super helpful for us, so do that. And a lot of times I put my supply list over there too. Just depends on what it is and how much time I have and that kind of thing. But I would dare to say that it won't be long before we're all over there, unless things get a lot better over here quick. I've been working on that channel for a long time. because I know how hard it is to grow over there. For me, you know, not everybody, but I'm a pretty slow grower. Okay, let's see how that's looking. Oh yeah, that looks good. Do y'all see anything that I have missed that needs something? Who is on here right now that's been here the whole time? Let me know. This is honor system, so y'all be truthful. But I think Claudia has, and I'm sure there's others that have stayed the whole time. Let me know. Okay, let's see. You like it? The right side of his head. Oh, let me go back. Yes, I see it. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Inga. Good eye, good eye. That really doesn't have a lot of room for anything. Oh, see, I'm going to mess it up if I push too much. All my glass in really large buckets, or, you know, because I usually order 10 pounds at a time. And then I just put it into these small jars. So then I just work with what's in here, but I could go get more small pieces if I needed to. See that little, I don't know if y'all can see that, but that little dot right there. Just kind of use a toothpick or tweezers or whatever until I can pick it up and get rid of that. Now, we're going to put the rest of our resin on once we get it exactly how we want it. Oh, yeah, Karen. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that they have. I don't know. And just kind of see how thick that is. You guys that do resin, you can see how thick that is. But it's still going to work fine. It's not so thick I can't use it. But I'm going to add that. All of my glass pieces will stay perfectly fine because we put the resin down and they're just sitting on the resin, so they're not going anywhere. And I really think this is plenty thick. It's not going to move, but I'll still check it in about 15 minutes and be sure. I will take my little butane torch to this one more time. Art resin is self-leveling. You do need to get it to all the edges and, you know, do your part of getting it where it needs to be. But then as it cures, it self-levels as long as it's on a level surface. I'll put this on my level desk that I have and cover it and leave it overnight. And, you know, it's soft cured in 12 hours and then it will continue to cure over the next couple of days. And in 72 hours, it's as much as it's ever, you know, it'll be completely hard and it won't change after that. So I do wait that long before I ship things. Let it get good and completely done. Okay, so I've used all my resin now. I'm gonna take my butane torch and we're going to give it a little final pop of the bubbles. Don't hold it too long if you're going over anything that could, that it could hurt. Let me see if I can get this up for you to see. And then you guys be sure you watch tomorrow for the video. I'll make a little reel and show it outside in the sun, and it is always 10 times prettier in person, but that will give you a little idea. I hope y'all had fun. This is another long one, but I'll shorten this video for you guys that want to go back and do it. Thank you so much. Let me see if there's any questions or comments here at the end. Purple one. Oh, I didn't know that, Inga. Somebody needs this. See, that's the thing. That's why I love when you guys share things. Oh, thank you, Cheryl, because somebody who really wants this or wants to give it as a gift, sometimes they'll even message me. That would be so cool. Mardi Gras. Yeah, you could easily add some green and you would definitely have a Mardi Gras butterfly. So, yes, that's okay, Robin. You can watch the replay. Thank you guys so much. I'm really glad y'all were here. I hope it was relaxing. Thank you, Levada. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, I knew that, Sue. Yeah, I forgot. I need to do a blue one for colon cancer. Thanks, Donna. All right, ladies, y'all have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.